Hello and welcome to part 2 of our second Rakshabandhan workshop. I am Kishan Hindocha, आपका अपना crazy chef Kishan, and this workshop was the most requested workshop in my DMs. You guys asked so many times about donuts and bomboloni's recipe videos, so here I am today going to show you each step-by-step recipe for donuts and bomboloni's as well. Also, I will show you how to fill it properly in the bombolonis so you can make it and sell it for your Rakshabandhan hampers, as well as you can sell it individually also. I will be showing you the techniques for which donuts will be able to store for around 5 to 6 days, and with the proper conditioning you can also store it for around 7 to 8 days as well. So without wasting your time, let's dive into the today's recipe of donuts and bombolones. So before we dive into our recipe, let me show you what all ingredients I will be using and how each ingredient will act with each other to give us that soft, tender donuts and bombolonis. The first and foremost ingredient which I will be using is 300 grams of all-purpose flour. This will provide the main structure and that chew and elasticity to our donuts because of the gluten formation happening in the all-purpose flour. The second ingredient which we'll be using is milk. Here I have taken 160 ml of milk, which will hydrate our flour. Also, the lactose in the milk will give that little browning on the donuts and bombolonis, and it will tenderize our donuts. The next ingredient which I will be using will be instant yeast. This will release CO2, and because of releasing of CO2, our donuts and bombolonis will rise and become airy and light. The next ingredient which we will be using is sugar. It will help yeast to feed on it and release the CO2. Also, it will caramelize when we will be frying our donuts and bombolonis. So it will give that subtle brown color on our donuts and bombolonis. The next ingredient which we will be using is salt. It will help in balancing the sweetness. Also, it will strengthen the gluten produced in our dough, and it will control the yeast activity. So it will not let yeast get too much fermented and make our dough unusable. So salt is very important. Okay, just let me tell you, I will be using 50 grams of sugar and 4 grams of salt, 6 grams of yeast, 160 grams of lukewarm milk, 300 grams of flour, and the last ingredient which I will be using is butter. I have taken 40 grams of butter. This will add fat and richness to our donuts, flavor, and make soft crumbs in our donuts and bombolones. So I hope you are clear about all the ingredients which we'll be using: 300 grams of flour, 50 grams of sugar, 160 ml of milk, 40 grams of butter, 4 grams of salt, and 6 grams of yeast. Now we will start our recipe. But before we start, what we will do is we will put our yeast into fermentation. So here I have taken lukewarm milk, in which I will add small amount of sugar. So when we will be adding our yeast in this milk, it will eat upon the sugar and start releasing CO2. It will start to bubble up, and we will directly add yeast into the milk and just give it a light stir and let it sit at the room temperature around 4 to 5 minutes. Make sure the yeast is not sticking and keep it aside. By then, we will put all the our other ingredients in a bowl. We will take seed all-purpose flour, sugar. You can use castor sugar as well, salt, and we will mix it well and let it stay there until our yeast starts bubbling up. Once our yeast will be activated and ready, we will fold it in our dough and we will start kneading our dough. Now our yeast has started to activate. It has started to bubble up. Now we will add this milk mixture into our flour and start kneading our dough. Now, if you are using a stand mixture, then it will take around 10 to 12 minutes to completely knead the dough and make the stretchy dough which we need for our donuts. But if you are kneading it with hands, it will take around 15 to 17 minutes until it's ready for the window pan test and techie. Don't worry, I will show you what is window pan test and what is a techie texture of the dough. We will slowly start kneading it in the bowl. Once whole structure starts coming together, we will take it on our table and then knead it properly for around 15 minutes. I have taken kept water next to me, which you must have seen in the starting. This is to adjust the consistency. Many a times, all-purpose flour in different cities may need more water or may need lesser amount of milk. I know at least my need will need around 160 ml of milk, so I've directly added completely. But if you are doubt and not sure and making it for the first time, I would suggest don't put whole milk once at a time. Put it 50%, mix it, and then again add another 50%. And then if you still require in your dough, then you can adjust it with milk or small amount of water. So your dough has started to come together, but still it requires small amount of liquid ingredient. It should not be too hard. It should be soft and moist. Okay. We will not be adding butter right now. Butter will be added at last once our dough is completely kneaded and it has started to form the gluten structure. Generally, the butter, how it adds the softness. When the gluten formation is done, the dough has started to become stretchy, and the strands have started to become. When we add butter, it gets layered into the strands of gluten. So our gluten doesn't dries up very easily, and when you eat, you have that fine crumb and that moist texture to your dough. Now you can see our whole dough has come together. Now I will put it on the table and knead it for around another 13 to 15 minutes. You can do this pull and push method, roll it properly, but our main focus is to achieve the window pen test results and it should be tacky in nature. Keep kneading until it becomes smooth in texture and soft and elasticy. Here, there is no shortcut to this method. If you try to do it shortcut, you will not get the proper end results. If you have stand mixer, you can do it in the stand mixer. You will be able to get the results quickly. But if you're doing with the hands, you will need to knead it until it's smooth and soft. Our dough has become soft and properly kneaded together and add our butter in it and let it rest for around 1 hour so it can get doubled in size. I'll be taking room temperature butter, apply it on the dough, and then we'll mix it until it becomes smooth dough ball again. I'm trying to apply it as much as possible on all the sides, so all glutens are properly covered. Will not waste any of the unsalted butter. Now we will start kneading it for around 1 or 2 minutes more. Until all the butter gets absorbed in our dough and dough is again like a smooth ball. I generally prefer this pull and stretch and pull method where butter gets evenly distributed amongst the strands of gluten. Now our whole butter has been properly absorbed into the dough. You can see how smooth and soft this is. Now see what's tacky dough. When you stretch it, it will not stick to my hand at all. Even if I'm stretching it so much, it will not stick to my hand and again come together. Now let me show you what's window pen test and gluten formation looks like. Because once you are sure that this two process has been properly done and it has passed both of that, then you can be sure that you will have perfect donuts all the time. Take a small amount of dough, roll it and start pressing it. Pressing and pinching it until thin film is made. Make it as much as thin possible so that you can almost see the light passing through the dough. It should almost look like a transparent window. Hence it is called window pen test. See, it's very thin. Now when you will be pulling the structure, you can see thin strands of dough forming. That is our gluten formation. You can see so thin, yet it's still stretchy. There are thin lines. That means our gluten is properly formed in this dough. And now we can put our dough into resting period for fermentation. I hope this is clear with you guys. Now we will just knead it and make a ball of it and put it in a bowl. Just make sure that you lock it with hands so the air doesn't gets out from the dough and it's properly trapped inside it, so your dough will rise properly. Take the same ball which you started with, if required, grease it with butter, so when you are taking it out it does not be too stretchy, comes out very easily. Put it over here, put a cloth on top of it and spray some water. So what will happen is your dough will not get dried. It will not have the dry skin on top of it. It will still be smooth once it has fermented as well. So here just spray some small amount of water and let it rest for around 1 to 1.5 hours until the dough is completely doubled in size. Now our dough has been kept for our first fermentation, which will take around 1 hour. It should be get doubled in size from the original size which we kept in the bowl. Until then, let me tell you some tips and tricks which you need to keep in mind when you will be kneading your donut dough. Always make sure that gluten formation has taken place, which can be checked by window pen method. Also, once your dough is completely ready, you need to check and see that your dough should be tracky. Tracky, as I already mentioned, it should, when you pull the dough, it should be able to easily stretch and feel soft, but it should not stick to your hand. Hence, you will know your dough is properly ready for the first fermentation. After the first fermentation, we will start working on it by rolling it and making balls of it for the bombolone. So see you after the first fermentation. Now our donuts and bomboloni dough has been fermented and it has risen to almost double its quantity. Now it's time to do the most satisfying part while making donuts and bomboloni, that is punch down. So let's punch it down. You can see how beautifully it's shrunk down. See small bubbles. That means your dough has properly fermented. Now we will just take it out in the bowl. You can just keep it in the bowl. Now I will be making bombolonis and donuts from the same dough. So what I will do is first take out the dough in scoops and measure it and form the ball to make bombolonis, and then we will roll the same dough and cut it with cutters to make donuts. So for that, here I have taken measuring scale, and I will take one baking tray in which I will put some parchment paper. I have square cut parchment papers ready with me. So I will just place it on our baking tray, and once we roll it, we will put it on this. So when just a minute, probably the fan. Okay. So after rolling the bowl for bomboloni, we will put it on the parchment paper. So when we want to put it for frying, we don't have to pick it up, so it doesn't stick. And I think I will just need to completely turn off the fan. Okay, but you get the idea. We will put the parchment paper and then put our bowl dough on top of it. So when we want to flip it and put it for the frying, we will not have to worry about the bomboloni shrinking back again because of any moment, or when we are just picking it up, it should not stick to the base. In the parchment paper, it will not stick. You will be just able to simply lift it and put it in your frying oil. Now let's measure it. For the bakery style proper, this thick and fluffy, bigger size of fluffy bombolonis, I would weigh 50 grams of the dough. You can make around of 40 grams as well, or you can even go for around 45 grams in the middle grounds, whatever suits you the best. But for the bakery style, it's 50 grams. But if you want to sell individual pieces, so when you put individual pieces of bombolonis for the sell, you at least need to give a bigger size. Also, it is important that if you put the bigger size, you will be able to charge for single bomboloni and make profit out of it as well. So here, let's put it around 65 grams of the dough. Okay, so it's almost 65. Ready. Now what we will do is just lock the ball first with the rotating hand motion. We will seal our donut bowl from the bottom and then slightly press it. You can see it's completely packed. If you feel doubt a little bit, you can again follow the same procedure. Press it a little bit and see it's properly done. You have to put the hand in this scooping motion and then just do it properly and pinch it. It will be ready. Just press it a little bit and take a parchment paper and put your bomboloni on top of it. And now after all the bombolonis are rolled, we will let it keep for second fermentation. So first, quickly take the dough and measure it and make all the bombolonis first. Now I have weighed my all the bombolonis and put it on the parchment paper. Now I will let it set for the fermentation. Until this gets fermented, we will use our leftover dough to make donuts as well. You can see how beautiful this looks. Now let's start working with our donuts. For the donuts, what we will be do is take this on whole dough knead it properly and combine it, make a big ball of it, and then we will directly start rolling it. And then cut it with our cookie cutters, which I showed you in the first part in Amazon Live. If you have missed out any products suitable for the donuts and bombolonis, you can check out the link in description where I have mentioned the link to Amazon, where you can check out all the products which I showed you how to use them those products to make the proper style of donuts and bomboloni. Once our dough is from proper bowl, we will start rolling it. Now we will start rolling our dough. We have to make sure that we make the thin sheet of around 1.5 centimeter or around half inches thick. If required, you can use small amount of flour to dust it on the table and your rolling pin. You must have seen rolling pin also on the Amazon Live, where I showed you all the equipments. If your dough is not sticking, even if you have not dusted on the top of the table, that means you have perfectly kneaded the dough and the fermentation is properly done. So this is also a good sign that you don't need to dust it and still the dough is properly being rolled. I think we have achieved the desired thickness. So now here I will take cookie cutters and cut donut. Just press it and turn it little bit so the complete ball is properly setted out. Now again we will take one parchment paper, pick this up and put it on our parchment paper, so when we want to fry it, we don't have to pick it up from the tray and be afraid of it sticking and deflating. You will be directly able to roll the butter paper and put this for frying. Now I have rolled all the donut dough into sheet and cut it into round with bigger cutter and small cutter. So our donuts are also ready. Now we'll put this for fermentation as well. And if you're wondering what to do with these small rounds which we get after cutting it, you can roll it and make small donuts or make a donut out of it. Also, you can use it to check the temperature of your oil, or else if you are making in a bigger batch, then you will be having so many of this. So what you can do is fry them and put it for the tasting also, or make a uh, donut bowl or donut balls, top it with chocolate and serve it. So there is a multiple things you can do with this small leftover donut pops. But for now we'll put this into a fermentation as well, and we will after fermentation is second fermentation is done, we will fry both of them and we will have our donuts and bombolonis ready. Now we have kept our rolled and cut donuts for the second fermentation as well as the balls for the bomboloni. It will almost get 2 to 3 times of its own size, and then it will be ready for the frying. For the frying, I would like to mention few key points which you need to keep in mind so you can get perfect result every single time when you are frying your donuts or it may be bomboloni. First of all, the temperature. You always need to keep the temperature range between 180 degrees Celsius to 190 degrees Celsius. The sweet spot is 182 degrees Celsius. Always aim to fry it between this so your donut or bomboloni doesn't get oily or gets too dark. If you go below the 180 degrees Celsius, there are high chances that your dough will absorb much oil and it will be oily. Or if you are frying above 190 degrees Celsius, it will take a darker color as soon as you put it in the frying oil, and the center of the donut or bomboloni will stay raw. So Your first point is to keep an eye on the temperature. Second is make sure that fermentation has properly take place. If it will not be properly fermented, then also there are high chances that your donut may absorb oil or stay raw from the center. Third point you need to make sure is once the donuts and bombolones have fermented for the second time, handle it very carefully, because while moving it from one place to another place, if a small jerk is given to the donuts or bombolone, it may shrink back and then there is no coming back from that. You will again need to roll it and then again put it for another second fermentation. So these are some of the key points which you need to keep in mind. Also, there are different types of ways to make your donuts and bombolones. For now, which I am showing, are focused for the Rakshabandhan hampers. So we are focusing on the longevity and the shelf life of the donuts. So I will be completely submerging the donuts and bombolones in the frying oil, so its edges and top and bottom side is also properly fried. Hence, the shelf life will increase around 6 to 7 days, but you need to keep it in airtight containers or properly wrap it with clean film. The more you want to make it Instagrammable and photo friendly, or if you're using it for the cafe and bakery where you are doing regular production, if you're making it for the morning and it is going to be finished by the evening, you can make a bigger bombolones and donuts as well. So it will have little less shelf life, around 3 days, but it will be bigger in size and you can serve single pieces as well. So it's completely upon you. You can decide the size of the bombolones and donuts you want for your personal use or for the selling. For the ones which have the white lines, make sure you are using the flat bottom pan for frying your donuts and bombolones, and you don't completely submerge it into the oil. Just put from the one side, then once the one side is completely fried, lift it up and then flip it, so the second side will also get fried evenly and you will have that proper white rim in the center. I hope now you are ready for our frying part of our donuts and bombolones. So without wasting any time, let's start frying our donuts and bomboloni. Now our donuts and bomboloni has been fermented for the second time, and you can see how beautifully this has fermented. All are properly fermented and now ready to be fried. So this are our bombolini, and here I have donuts. You can see how fluffy this looks. Now we will start frying them. For that, here I have taken a flat bottom saucepan. You can take any of the flat bottom utensil. Take your oil and put it for heat. Now our oil has reached frying temperature. We will drop in our donut in it and start frying it. I will just slowly dip it in oil so it gets evenly raised from all the sides. We will fry it evenly from both the sides to get the even color and properly fried from inside as well. You can see how beautiful this looks. Our donut is properly fried. Let me show you one with the bombolone as well. I will take one bombolone and same way I will slowly flip it in oil. Gently push it inside the oil so oil hot oil can cover from the top side as well. When you're frying with the induction gas, you constantly need to keep an eye on the temperature of the oil, or else the oil, if gets too cold, then it will get soaked inside the bombolone. So make sure keep an eye on the oil. It should always stay into the range of 180 degrees Celsius to 190 degrees Celsius. Now we will slowly flip it. You can see how beautiful this looks. Once it's fried equal from the both the sides, we will remove it. Drain out the excess oil. And here you have beautiful bombolone ready. So our donuts and bombolonis are fried and has been sitting at room temperature for quite a while and has come to room temperature. Now we will coat our donuts and fill our bombolonis. So here I have taken a Nutella, a big bowl of Nutella. So first let me show you how we will coat our donuts in it. If required, you can put it Nutella in a microwave for around 10 to 15 seconds, so it becomes little bit loose and liquid, so you can easily dip your donuts in it. Also, if required, you can add small amount of oil or cream to adjust the consistency of Nutella depending upon the weather at your place and how you want your Nutella to have the final look and effect on your donuts and bombolones. So now just take a donut, put it in the Nutella, properly press it, swirl it little bit, and then quickly pick it up and clean the sides on the bowl itself. You can see you have completely covered donut. Slowly the Nutella will drip off from the center. So I would suggest to put this in the on the parchment paper only, so you can collect the Nutella and again reuse it. But you can see our donuts has been properly coated from the sides also. It looks very good. Now for the Nutella, you can just keep it as it is, or you can uh, sprinkle some choco chips on top of it. You can cover Nutellas with you can cover donuts with direct chocolate as well. You can use dark milk or white chocolate and drizzle different color chocolate on top of it as well, and cover it with different sprinkles as well. So there are endless ideas which you can follow to cover your donuts. You can even cover it with ganache of your choice. So here you can see our donut is ready, coated beautifully. Now we will focus more on the bomboloni, on the technique on how you can fill the bomboloni. So for the bomboloni filling, what I will do is I will take Bismarck nozzle. We will put that in a piping bag, and before piping our Nutella in the bombolone, what we will do is create a hollow space in the bombolone. So our bombolone is already light and fluffy from the center, but when you pipe the Nutella inside it, or any of the filling which you will pipe inside the bomboloni, there are high chances that whenever you pipe, it may just gather at one particular spot and the rest of the bomboloni will stay empty. So it is professionally followed that you take bomboloni, put a small toothpick or a rod between it, make a hole, and then make a proper shape, a hollow space between the bomboloni. So when you will pipe, it will have the proper center filling in the bomboloni. So here I have taken one you can say chopstick. You can also use regular skewers or toothpicks just from any of the sides. Just poke it in the center and rotate it, so it will create the hollow space in the center. Don't worry, the texture doesn't gets affected with this. You will still have that light and fluffy texture of the bombolones. Now, as I already mentioned earlier before frying, that this bombolones are mean specifically focused to put in the hampers and to store it for the longer period of time, so that we have completely deep fried it properly from the sides and edges. The one which you see most of the time on the Instagram, that are very light and airy one, that can be also made with the bigger portion of the ball made with donut dough, that you will not completely deep fry it. You will fry it from the one side and the other side. You will not completely submerge the whole bombolone in the center into the hot oil. Now we have made enough space into our bombolone. Now we will pipe our Nutella. So I will just keep this aside and fill our piping bag. I have mentioned the Bismarck nozzle in the Amazon live. If you have missed out that, you can check out the link from the description and order that for yourself. It makes your life very easy. In the piping bag, you might face issues like it may not go inside properly or it creates problem. So now we'll cut the top edge. So we'll cut the tip and slide our nozzle between it very precisely. The hole has become little bigger, so we'll do the double piping bag method. We'll just directly slide it down into another piping bag with the smaller hole. It's completely okay to face such difficulties. Just you should be not worried and focused on your final results. Now you can see our proper Bismarck nozzle is set and Nutella is properly flowing. Now we will take our bombolone, which we made space. Now we will insert our Bismarck nozzle in it, and from the very center slowly start piping your filling. Keep rotating your nozzle so it gets completely filled from all the sides. If required, you can keep on rotating the bombolone as well, so it's filled from every corner. Feels like it. You will able to judge it when you are holding the bombolone in your hand, that it will be completely filled. Slowly take out your Bismarck nozzle and cover the dot so Nutella doesn't get out. Now you can keep it at room temperature to Nutella set for some time, and then you can parcel pack it in your hampers or individually pack it. So let me just break one bomboloni filled with Nutella for you and show you how it will look. You can see how delicious and chocolatey this is. This will surely win the hearts of your customers. I hope you have enjoyed our today's both recipes of donuts and bombolones, and I'm sure you will make it for yourself or even for your hampers and your customers. With the equipments and tools which I showed you in the Amazon Live, and with the steps and tips and tricks which I showed you in this our workshop, you will be able to surely start your own donuts journey, or you can even edit this in your menu. Until we meet in our next workshop, I would like you to suggest me what type of workshop you are looking forward to. Until then, keep learning, keep baking, be crazy.